So let me get to start streaming. And then, yeah, if you can send me the link as soon as you see that it's gone live.
Yeah, let me find it first. Okay, looks like it is live. Let me just
send me the link so I can send out the tweet and let people know.
There you go.
Thank y'all. Alright, just tweeted it out.
Cool.
Oh, and we have Gino Random and Mr. Maniac. And Crystal Star Girl.
Welcome, guys.
Swig of water.
Man, makes me wish that I can use my emotes on channels that aren't my own. I just made that cheese emotes. Stay hydrated.
That's like, how is it that you actually set up the emotes and such? Like, is there a way that we can make emotes for SNG, or like how does all that work?
I don't see why not, since we have super chats. I don't know if we have memberships open for SNG just yet, though.
Oh, that I have no clue.
Like, if we don't have the options for memberships, then we won't. Then we can't very well do emotes then.
Gotcha.
Because it's set up, and this is a Twitch thing too. Like, the emotes can only be used by members.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like it's. I don't even think it's an option to make them free for anyone to use.
Okay.
Like no matter what site you're on that has emotes, they always they're only ever for members.
Okay. Oh well. We'll live.
You want to emote, you have to pay for it.
Hey, Brian.
Hey.
Alrighty.
I just got back from my mom taking me out to lunch.
Nice.
Like, I think the one exception to that is well, actually, there is one exception, but it's strictly for emotes that the site itself makes. So, like, the chat here can use emotes, but only the ones that YouTube already had pre-installed.
Right. Okay.
And that's the same for Twitch. But if they want to use custom emotes that we make, no, they'd have to be members.
Gotcha. Oh well.
Even then, we need to see if we can even set up memberships on this channel.
Right. Well, and that's it. You know, if it's even worth doing it, you know, because who knows. Alrighty, but all right. I guess before we get started, you know, what is everybody's Valentine's plans, if you have any?
I'll be working.
Yeah, same here. Same here. I'm going to work tomorrow. It's like, that's my Valentine's Day. I'm going to work.
Rip.
All right. So, yeah, about 4 minutes have passed. I think now is a good time to get started. So, again, welcome back, everybody. And easily, we are finishing this game today. You know, there's really not a lot left. You know, we're actually, like, almost done, I think, with this current chapter. And then we move on to the last chapter. And that's the chapter that has divided everybody. I know we talked a little bit about this in the last stream. Like, BJ and I were kind of, like, you know, debating about it and stuff. But we will be getting to the end of that chapter, and you will see, you know, where a lot of people are coming from as far as, you know, as far as, like, the fan division for this game. But suffice it to say, we took care of, we pretty much took care of, like, the Shinra building almost in its entirety last stream. So we literally ended off the previous stream with Sephiroth killing President Shinra. Just like in the game, ran his sword right through him. However, we also saw that he went and ran his sword through Barrett too. But Barrett ends up getting saved, convenient, Deus Ex Machina shit, because, again, the whole thing with the Whispers. It's
the fates.
The Whispers. Yeah, the Whispers, they're supposed to try to keep everything on track, from the original game. So because Barrett is not supposed to die, they went and brought him back to life. It's like, oh no, you can't die here, so, he gets to live, because, plot convenience.
You promised your daughter you're not allowed to die.
Yeah, so...
You're immortal now.
Yeah, so, like I said, we are going to finish this today. Depending on how much time we have, and I suspect it's not going to take me very long because I'm starting so early, we might be able to get started on Fire Emblem Three Houses afterwards as well.
Hey.
And it's like... Because I don't... Like, this should not take me the rest... Like, Final Fantasy VII, where we are, should not take me the rest of the night. It really shouldn't.
The only way I can see it taking forever is if for some reason you end up sucking a lot and keep dying.
Yeah, which,
You're on normal.
Let's play curse. You never know. I mean, it's
you should be fine. You're on normal, so.
I mean, I know I'm on normal mode, but it's like I was dying to regular enemies throughout this stream, yet I survived the freaking Hell House in one try. So it's like, who fucking knows?
That said, I am a little salty that I missed the Genova fight. I love that theme. I love the Genova theme. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no problem. But, that's okay, because, we're getting, next fight. Oh, the next fight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, the next fight.
Sure, that'll make you question your sexuality.
Well, I don't have to question my sexuality. I knew damn well.
Am I wrong, though? That's the question here.
This is true.
Sephiroth!
Yes, that is my name. Fancy looking Buster Sword.
This guy are sick.
All the guys are sick.
And now this guy are dead.
Everyone okay?
Hey, get your man.
He got away.
What do you think?
Did you get him?
Time we made our escape.
Yes.
Oh, sweet.
Tell your daughter when we get home.
Yeah, well, there goes their ride.
Damn it!
Shit.
Why is it always the helicopter guy?
Mike!
Sure you want to do this personally, boss?
Yeah, here we go, guys. Here we fucking go.
Hey, Malik. Oh no, you're right on time.
yeah, right on time, Malik. The king has entered the building.
Go get him, puppy.
job.
The hell I will. We can finish off the family here and now.
Take Aerith and get out of here. I'll buy you guys some time.
I can stay here, back you up.
Barrett. I'm asking you. Please.
Fine. Have it your way then. But you better be right behind us.
You're a soldier, aren't you? Which, of course, would mean that I own you.
Damn.
Ex-soldier. I quit.
Secure the others.
You can't fire me, I quit!
All right, then, firing squad, go.
Oh! I didn't take account of that.
Well, maybe 3.
Alright, so if you guys remembered, this was the easiest fight in Final Fantasy VII. Now they make it a fucking challenge, because what happens when you try to attack with it directly?
Maybe this was a kill shot.
Yeah, you can't. You literally cannot attack him directly. You have to take care of the dog first. Yeah, so there's a couple. There's basic. So yeah, here I'll do that. So, all right. So Dark Star, formerly known as Dark Nation, but now Dark Star. This is the doggy. We have to take care of the dog. You know, get him out of here. If you notice that little tether line between Rufus and the dog, a good way of helping out in this fight is to try and break that tether. There's a couple of ways you can do this. I've seen some people say that Dark Star, even though it doesn't list it explicitly, a lot of people say use fire magic on Dark Star. Tends to do a fair amount of damage. Another easy way that people have said, and I'm actually going to try this out, is to actually use the Braver skill. And because that's a reference to the original game, because, you know, if you haven't gotten cross-flashed by the time you fought Rufus, you know, you had your Braver limit break. So, you know, kind of like a little nod to that as well. But like I said, you cannot attack Rufus directly. He will counter and, you know, just flat out evade shit. So, there's basically 3 phases to this fight. So right now, we've really got to focus on the dog.
Damn it, Barrett, come back! I need a doubles partner!
That said, I will comment. So,
Yes.
one of the tropes that I absolutely hate in storytelling is when you have the big bad guy, but he's only threatened because of his army. When you get him by himself, or out of power, or out of manpower in general, he crumbles, because he's just a weakling by himself.
Mm-hmm.
This game comes to prove that even though Shinra, who did fall into that trope, he was just a weakling hiding behind his money and power, you know, now that he's gone, we have Rufus here to take over, and Rufus is here to prove not only does he have money and power, but he can kick your ass.
Right. Well, bear in mind, you know, Rufus's whole thing in the original game, like, because he even flat out said, you know, yeah, my father ruled with money. All he had to do was just throw money around to solve all the problems. I'm not going to do that. You know, it's going to be far more cost effective to instead instill fear in people and play up to people's fears to get what I want. So it's like,
to me, it's just a much more effective villain.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh,
like when you can talk big and then back it up.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You know, that's why it's like, you know, again, that's like, you know, I know everybody talks about, you know, oh, Sephiroth being like, you know, the big bad because he's all intimidating shit. And it's like, I have always been on the camp for Rufus. I've always found Rufus to be the more fascinating villain.
Well, in Sephiroth obviously has the power, but his Sephiroth's deal was more so the mind tricks and such. Like Sephiroth for the most part always was a background character, or our background villain, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Rufus, on the other hand, he's a lot more direct.
Yeah.
Like he is the kind of guy that if he wants something done, he makes sure that it gets done personally.
Yeah.
If you want something done right, do it yourself.
Seriously.
All right, so that I guess being said, place your bets, everybody. How many times is Rufus gonna kick my ass? Because, I mean, yeah, they went from making him they took the easiest boss in the game and made him one of the more challenging ones. It's like, I've had to fight Rufus several times, like when I first played.
My guess is that he's going to beat you 0 times because it's all going to be the dog.
You say that. Just wait until Rufus pulls out the coin. Just wait until Rufus pulls out the coin.
Oh God, yes. Okay.
Like, talk about doing something so unnecessary, but it's cool, so we don't care. Like
the rule of cool. There's a reason. There's a reason why it exists. All right.
Gotta give it my all.
Yeah, this will easily go. This should go into the second point. Yeah, second phase right here.
Think you got my number?
Not at all. You're making me
It's
sweat.
518.
Good thing I came prepared.
Jesus Christ!
I know. It's like, dude,
God
it's,
damn it!
it's
so unnecessary, but it's cool.
dude is so wealthy he can literally throw money at you to kill you. It's like son of a bitch. But yeah, but look at Rufus now. It's like
We were just talking about you using your money for power. Rufus took that literally.
Yeah, but that being said, there's there's a couple of things now. So it's like,
Ain't dead yet.
it's like, yeah, he can use the coins. Yeah, he can use the coins to do a smoke screen. He can do the lasers. He can use distraction techniques. So again, we gotta focus on trying to kill the dog. But now Rufus can do rapid fire.
Alright. While you do that, I will be right back. I gotta go get some chicken.
Okay.
Hey, you could get paper cuts for money.
Get away from me. Get away.
Get fucking dog, G! He don't mind. Yes, he do!
It's like,
It is the boy, TP. And he started tossing coins.
So there you go. So I just did Braver on Rufus. That immediately cut off the link. So when that cuts off the link between the two of them, now they kind of act separately. So so for temporarily, no follow-up attacks or anything until he puts the link back on. So it's like
that's one way to separate the stand and its user.
Yeah, that at least gave me some time to be able to like heal and properly heal and protect myself. Okay, come on. Let's see. Yeah. Can we do a regular ether?
I see.
They just used Drill Run. Yeah, where's Cloud's Pokemon?
I know, it's like, doggy's almost done. And, yeah, and of course, like, I know... As annoying as this fight is, it's just... Wait till we get to the third phase. The third phase is really annoying.
Now you're at point. You're saying it's fun. Is it like a fun kind of point?
No. No, like, really annoying. Let's see.
No, one of these instances, I just want to see. I want to see like Rufus like flips the coins, and then Cloud just snatches him in the air, and goes, "Mine now." Wait, you can't just take my money. Well, she has to kill him first.
Yeah, you have to kill the dog, because you missed the TP, but, like, yeah, if you try attacking Rufus, he will literally dodge all of your attacks, so you have to...
No, I don't mean like that. I mean, are you waiting to use your limit on Rufus yet? So,
Oh, yeah, I'm waiting for third phase before I bust out that limit, especially because Darkstar's already almost dead, so there's no need to waste it. Let's see. There we go, doggy done. Okay, third phase.
Now it's just the two of us.
You sliced my dog.
Let's make it a night to remember.
It's on.
Yeah, so now he's gonna start juking around everywhere. So the easiest way to try and do this is, when Rufus reloads, he'll do attacks, and you kind of gotta wait until you can when he reloads, that's when you can attack him, and when that happens, he's wide open. But you have a very, very small window to hit that.
Soul's turned into a fucking shotgun.
Let's see. That's like...
he's almost done.
I know, that's where it's like, again, like you went from being the most piss easy boss to an actual challenge. Oh, by the way, I love the song that's playing right now. It's just nothing more than a remix of the boss battle theme with the Shinra theme. It actually sounds amazing.
Ain't gonna get. Bring it. Whatever.
Come on. I'm just waiting for my window.
Where were we?
Dang, not close enough.
Come on.
Got him! Hot shit! I did it in one shot!
Hey!
Like, hot damn!
What was that about him not beating you once?
Here and now.
No, not quite. Tonight marks a new beginning. For Shinra!
Your dog would have stayed and fight.
Dog's not here now, is it?
Yeah, we killed it. Tifa!
Team Mom. Team Mom. Team
You
Mom.
gotta be
She is the team
You're
mom.
gonna play the hero.
And team moms are awesome.
Do I sense bias in that kid?
Think they can manage on their own?
You've seen them both in action. You know they can. Besides... What was that? Gotta believe they made it out.
I hope so.
Damn it.
Hey,
Screw it. We gotta go back.
hey.
What, Red? Get down!
Shit! Grr.
We're cool. Everything's cool. Barrett! Not again! You can't stop me! For Biggs! For Jesse! Tifa! And Barrett too! I'm sorry, Cloud. Just tell me that I made a difference.
And that's it for Wedge. Because remember, he was dead at this point in the original game, and that's supposed to be the whole purpose of the Whisper. So it's like, hey, you're not supposed to be here. Go die now.
No. Oh.
Hey, still in one piece?
Yeah. Somehow.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me!
See, Bear, just rip that thing's gun off and give yourself an upgrade. Oh, and it's got laser cannons too. Get the fuck out of here, Shinra.
Well, if you remember, in the original Final Fantasy VII, this was the boss that the three of them fought when they were in the elevator. So it's like, it makes a lot more sense to take take this thing out of the elevator, because, yeah, realistically with the machine guns, it's like, yeah, if they stayed in the elevator, they'd be fucked.
Get ready.
Yeah.
I was born ready, Red.
Alright, so first things first. Yeah, we gotta switch out materia here.
Hold on, gun.
Let me see, she gets that.
That is a very patient Gatling gun.
Let's see.
I'll tell you while you're in an elevator, but when you're prepared, well, like, I assumed you're ready.
Like, listen, I'm sorry I assumed you were ready. Like, I'll let you set up first.
Roll initiative.
Alright. Yeah, alright, so we should be good now.
Actually, see what? No, see, Danny, what you actually need? You just need tension in your party, and he'll just run through the bullets.
Alright. Yep, so... Yeah, so you gotta worry... Yeah, you kinda gotta worry about taking out the drones. But, again, yeah, you know... Be mindful about... Yeah, when he's charging, you know, because when that happens, you gotta... Yeah, take cover.
Just go away. Just a little should help.
It's right on.
Stop it!
Shit, too late. Let's turn this
That's
around.
why.
Lock on me. Yeah.
Yeah, let's bring out the fat chocobo for this one.
Let's have us some fun.
Stay back.
Want some more?
It's right on.
So you have like. So you have a girl with a stick, got a machine gun arm, and a fat bird.
Stay back.
Give
It's
them
like
hell.
sounds
Here goes.
really weird punchline, but
Actually...
This should make you stronger.
Oh, where's Red 13 while this is all happening?
Oh, he's fighting. Like, I mean, you can see he's fighting, but he's... Yeah, he's controlled by the AI. We tragically do not get him as a party member. Like,
Oh.
at least a party member that we can control.
But I want Furry Ryuji.
Oh, I know. Oh, believe me, I know. So many people were pissed that, yeah, you don't get to control Red 13 in this game.
Square Enix, take this game back. Do it over.
It's right on.
Oh, wait, TP, I'm gonna show you a thing.
Thanks, y'all.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey, welcome
Yeah.
back. Alright, yeah, so I beat Rufus in one shot.
There you go.
Somehow, I did.
Say, BJ, what happened was that when Rufus went to flip his coins, Claude just ran up and took the money.
Hey, thanks for the reveal. That's it.
Consider this
Oh,
your
thank
late payment.
take out the other two things.
Oh, thank you, Red 13.
Defensive systems compromised. Threat level elevated. show you what I can
Giant
do.
robot will destroy you. Otherwise, you'd actually be in trouble.
Yeah.
One more shot. Maybe this'll do the trick. Go on. Get him. That's it.
Let's see.
I won't let you down. Let the winds caress you.
I know it's probably not going to happen, but I'm still kind of low-key hoping that we maybe get like a little DLC side mode where you play exclusively as Red 13, like during all these sections.
That would be nice, but realistically, you know, yeah, probably not. We're just gonna have to wait until episode 2.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? That'd actually be a fun promotion for episode 2. Like, you play as Red 13 during these parts. Maybe it's even like a little Red 13 side story about how he got captured in the first place. Crap like that. And like you play exclusively as Red 13 as a way to promote and get people hyped for the next episode and what he'll be able to do in that game. It doesn't have to be very long, but you know, just something just something to get the hype up.
Here goes. I'm backing off a bit. Go on.
Brianna White. Yeah, actually. So, is that fully the case? Because I heard bits and pieces about that. How the actress that voices Aerith in this game, usually she's just a streamer.
Okay.
This one's for you.
And I think like she did like live stream the game when this game when it came out. I don't see why she wouldn't have. Makes sense.
Right.
Why don't you lead the way?
No, makes sense, you know, so.
It's such a good thing he's targeting you with that.
What is that butterfly around Aerith? That is an ability called the Fleeting Familiar. It occasionally flies around, but it may also do some extra damage. So, just a nice little extra thing to have.
It wouldn't necessarily. It didn't serve a purpose.
I'll show you what I can do. One more shot. Back to good now.
Threat level critical.
Oh, I guess the building doesn't. I guess who cares about building?
Yeah.
We don't need infrastructure. We don't need support.
heal first.
There we go. That's where it's like, I'm waiting for this thing to go off. Because, I mean, yes, it can destroy your cover, but, you know, better to take some cover.
It's your
Yeah.
turn.
That was my favorite cover.
You know what stinks is that it took up almost all the stagger gauge.
Yeah.
Wow. Forgiven for that.
So it's apparently gaining a lot back.
Got some fight left in you.
I'll take care of them. This one's for you.
Get my butterfly back.
Let them stop us. One more shot. Yeah. This one's for you. Get him. One more shot. That'll do. This one's for you. Get him. No need to panic. Gotta go for it now. Gotta go for it now. Hey, you ready?
Let's do this. Something now. Check out this shit right here. We missing off.
Threat level maximum. This doesn't look good.
Any ideas?
Take cover behind debris.
Way ahead of you.
They all just grew off.
Before some, we're done.
Let's finish this quick.
Not this again.
We can't hide. What do we do?
You are make your time limit.
I'd keep my distance if I were you.
Bringing the heat. Hope you don't mind if I video. Damn. Does it feel good to be alive?
Quite. But we could still die later tonight.
Nah.
Cloud and Tifa could be dead already.
The hell they are.
Pessimist.
And we need to find a way we can all escape, and quickly.
You're right. Let's go.
All right, meanwhile, I see Jake asked, are we going to stream 3D World and Bowser's Fury? We all, I think, have to get the game in order to do that.
I have it, though I don't trust my internet.
Gotcha.
Thankfully, I plan on getting it this, if not today, later this weekend.
Okay.
All we gotta do now is find the others.
Good job.
We have them surrounded, sir.
Yes, I can see that. It was only a matter of time, and here we are. So then, what is this ragtag group of misfits I see before me? Avalanche!
Local florist.
Lab rat dog.
Up your ass. Charming, though not what I would have chosen as my last words. Secure the ancient, but feel free to kill both the idiot and the dog.
I love how the game just makes fun of the fact that, like back in the day, no one really knows what the hell Red 13 is.
Yeah.
You saved my Marlene. Now, it's time I return the favor.
Wait.
Yep, time for this segment.
Thank you, Barrett. I always wanted one.
Damn it.
Guns during cutscenes. Potentially fatal.
It's like,
Everyone, get in.
Why do the doors open like that? It's so weird.
I don't know. I think it was like that even in the original game, like in the CG cutscene that you see where they're all getting on.
Doesn't make any less weird. That said, going back to our earlier discussion, Heidegger is yet another example of a character who is clearly very pathetic when on his own.
Let's roll.
It's like, Cloud, you missed one.
Why's he always gotta
They go back and hit him again.
So you would think, considering the fact that Red 13 is a dog, they would play on the idea that, you know, dogs, for whatever reason, they don't have footing when they're in the car.
Shit. Also, is this the same soldier that thought that talked to Cloud earlier that said he was gonna go find Kunsel?
Who knows?
I hear some people saying things like that.
Yeah, it's like, again, we don't know because there's really nothing distinguishing about him, like, appearance-wise, that to tell us that, yes, it is the same guy. And again, like, he's just whimpering. It's kind of hard to tell with that through that alone through voice actor. So,
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah. Don't care.
home free? Hurry, Red.
I wouldn't celebrate just yet.
Man, you need to lighten up.
I agree
Hell,
with Barry.
you might even try smiling.
Oh.
On second thought, maybe frowning suits you better. Hey, don't pout.
Look,
I know, it's like, it's your talking dog best friend. Alright. Yep. Final chapter.
You know, completely missed opportunity. It didn't have 7 chapters.
Yeah. Oh well.
Now that said, I am not totally sure why the whispers are surrounding Shinra building like this. I don't know if it's trying to imply that if they didn't do this, then they would get captured, or if it has something to do with Wedge. I doubt they'd all need to be there just for Wedge, but like, it's not really. Like, I would like to imagine it's probably something Sephiroth related. I'd like to say. And this is also something else that's not.
Yeah, this is
hopefully
not.
gets explained in the next one.
Yeah, not explained, because,
what is all
you know, again, not everybody can see the whispers. They say only those that play a hand in Destiny can see them. But as you can see, Rufus can clearly see them. Sang can't. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, I guess it's supposed to imply that Rufus plays a hand. So, of course, he's going to see it, but I don't know. It's not explained very well, like, at all.
Yeah, because it's like, because there was a common theory for a while that only those who had direct contact with Aerith can see them, but that's clearly not the case because Rufus never had direct contact with Aerith. Sang did.
Right. So why can't he see him?
wrong, sir?
So this might also be implying the possibility that Rufus could have been planning to do something to change that would have been different from Destiny. That's really all it can be implying. But
Yeah, no,
we just don't know. We don't have enough information.
right. It's like again, it's not explained well, so yeah, we don't know.
I don't see it as a not explained well factor. I would like to think anyway. It probably just isn't that well explained because they don't want to explain it just yet. Like this, it may have something to do with the story coming ahead.
It's like the whole damn building's made of them.
Yeah.
I don't understand. What are they doing? Who knows?
Wedge, you don't think he got caught up in it, do you?
If he did, I hope he's okay.
They're coming.
Who? This we don't need.
Time to go.
Bike.
No, this one, from Cloud and Company, lead with, gaining this one last. I remember there being like an entire minigame,
Yeah, we're about to do. Yeah, we're about to do the bike mini game. Technically, the second time we're doing the bike mini game because we did the bike mini game with Cloud, Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse. Now this is okay. This was as it was intended in the original.
Come on, step on it.
You know, now it's just plow through Shinra soldiers.
I can ride.
Damn it!
You're an asshole. That said, I guess what we're doing this is something I actually wanted to bring up as well.
Mm-hmm.
I guess kind of continuing a conversation that we had from last time. Like Dani, you brought up a major reason why you don't care for the direction they're taking the story right now is because it wasn't that well established originally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I feel it comes out of fucking nowhere. And I mean, you'll see, audience, you'll see where I'm coming from. And it's like, I'll get a lot more into this. I mean, I have a lot more to say, but I'm gonna wait until we're at, like, credits before I say anything.
Right. Well, I'll at least say now. I guess one argument for it in that regard, more than likely the reason why it feels like it wasn't well established or that it comes out of nowhere, it's probably for storytelling purposes. Like, if they tried establishing it more than they did, it probably would have led to a lot more spoilers. And that probably, and I feel like they probably took that a major direction in that front because they did originally want to give the premise that this game was like a direct remake when that wasn't where they were going. I don't want to call it. I don't want to call it directly lying. I'd call it more bait and switch.
Yeah, which a lot of people take issue with.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like the weird thing. I think that one, I think how people interpret that or handle that really is kind of another bit. It's kind of another thing that kind of just boils back to opinion because it's like without being too spoilery about it, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity did a similar thing, a very similar thing actually, and. Just like with this game, I'm seeing lots of people that either really like it or don't. But also, just like with this game, I personally really like it. I love the direction that they took the data playing as I like the direction of this game. And they did similar things too, where it's like, at first it seems like nothing's gonna change, but there were seeds. That have been planted since the beginning that actually implies that it isn't. Both this game and Age of Calamity do that. Now, the biggest difference... Oh, well, thank you, Redford. Right on time. The major difference, of course, though, is the fact that this game's story isn't concluded yet. Age of Calamity's is. That's the major difference. So again, no matter how much we theorize or discuss this kind of thing, it all boils back down to we need to wait and see what they're planning and where they're going to go forward with it, and whether or not it is going to be good or bad.
Right, and like I said, I have a lot more to say, but I'm going to wait until I'm done before I really get my final thoughts in.
Remember, I think at one part, like, you actually did get knocked out to them, so...
Don't give up.
Keep your guard up!
It's on you.
And you know what, Tronic? I agree with that. I feel like there are purposefully a lot of loose ends in this game because they're all going to get explained like in the upcoming parts, and that is generating a lot of hype because it's causing people to theory craft all over the place. That's also a negative though, because then there are skeptics who could see that as a bad thing. And the other negative about that is that again, it will be worth it if the game if what they're doing ends up paying off and is good, because we said this multiple times during this playthrough. This game has set the bar so high, so if the next game is bad, it's going to be a far and long drop. Like it'll not be good.
So they literally cannot mess it up.
No, they can't. They have set themselves up for so much success with this game. If they mess it up, it's game over.
It truly will be the Final Fantasy.
Hey, Ryan! Hey, Ryan's here. Well, at least he's in the chat. Oh, thank you, Red 13.
Get down!
Him again! Guess we owe you another. Shit, we got income. I'll take the chopper. The fights are all yours, Cloud.
Firing warning shot.
Fire the warning shots into his head.
Yeah, fire the warning shots at them.
Sir, why are we just doing warning shots at this point?
You know, that's a good point, actually. These are, at least in their mind, these are runaway terrorists. Wonder they haven't lost yet.
Targets acquired.
I'm pretty sure we're going after terrorists at this point. I think we need something far more lethal. Alright, fine. Give him the mean face.
I don't think it's gonna help.
Not with that attitude.
Preparing to engage target.
Oh yes. Have to be warm on the way home.
Yeah, it's like, Ryan was saying on Twitter that where he is, they're expecting like negative 13-degree weather. Like, what the fuck?
Oh no, you know what? It's gonna be the same where I am at. Like, they're expecting, like, we're probably gonna get snow where I am. Like, and we're expecting a pretty big storm. I think.
Oh,
Either tomorrow or Monday.
Yeah, we got snow. Oh god, I gotta tell you. So Wednesday we had a pretty bad snowstorm, and it started right when I left work. I left work 3:45. I got home 6:30, and it's usually a 40-minute drive to get from work to home. So I mean, yeah, it took me 3 hours to get home on Wednesday because of the weather and everybody driving slow.
So are we just going to ignore that Clown nearly killed his friends?
Whispers intervene. Not to
They'll be fine.
defend us,
Walk it off.
to preserve the flow of destiny.
Here's the boss. I think, no. This is the boss?
Yeah, so if you remember, in the original game, yeah, this was the boss that you would fight at the end of the road.
Yeah.
So pretty much now it's, well, rather than wait until the end of the road to fight him, no, we're fighting him on the damn road.
Don't give up now, you guys.
funny if you did this one try.
Yeah, probably not gonna happen. Because I remembered playing this fight in particular took me a couple of tries.
At the very least, you have a checkpoint, so you can die.
Right. Yeah, they're at least generous in that regard. So it's like, you know, once you get to certain phases, they just start you over on whatever phase you were currently on. I see. Any thoughts on the Sonic 2 movie teaser? It's like, I mean, we knew it was coming. I'm honestly surprised that it's coming as soon as it is. Because, like, I know everything got delayed, you know, with COVID and shit. So that's where I was like, oh wow, they're already. Like, I mean, if they're already teasing it, I think that means they're well into it. So it's like, wow, they got onto it fast.
About this highway,
you know,
are there any places to get off? Because this looks like to be like a multi-mile highway with no stops. It'd be really bad if you like lost, if you like didn't stop to get heavy gas on the highway here.
Well, like that's assuming that cars in this world run on gas.
Right, it's probably more Mako, more so Mako energy.
If you have like a problem for any reason, well then congratulations, you're stuck on a highway that goes on forever.
Don't give up now, you guys. You can do it!
Still got the fight in you.
No turning back.
Time for a serious action.
It's on you. Let's do this fight.
Come on.
Keep it up.
Does Barry even do anything with this fight?
Yeah, he's shooting. So he's doing a little chip damage as well.
Okay.
Yeah, like this is usually where I lose it. Yeah. Yeah, this is usually the phase, so it's like, yeah, halfway done. But it should start me, I think, on around that point.
Yeah.
Okay. This still has one of Rufus, but not as much as the gang members.
This should make you stronger. It's on you. Don't give up.
Hell yeah! Hang in there, okay?
I mean, honestly, the character during all this that really is kind of contributing the least is Aerith.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, what can? Yeah,
shooting. That's what he's healing.
Yeah, he heals like he was healing like at certain spots. So it's like, yeah, it's like what? I guess she's just here for moral support.
No, you know what? She has the most important job. He's the one that he's handling the radio.
This is just playing like really bad pop song. You change the channel.
No. The music you're hearing right now? No, that's Aerith. This awesome boss remix? Yeah, that's Aerith. Currently playing on the radio. Aerith does that one.
Come on.
This might be it. Don't give up now, you guys. You can do it.
Bring it home.
Keep up the pressure, okay?
Like, I will if I can catch up to the goddamn front tires. Yeah.
Keep it up. Watch yourself. Ready to go for it. Let's pick up the pace.
Trying, Aerith.
All right, so now we're back to where we died before.
No time for you.
No, you don't.
Is I read 13 or TP? The growling.
I would say Red 13.
I've never heard Red 13 call before.
Yeah, because he's just like, God damn it.
Petition for TP to be the next Red 13.
That's the way to do it.
Bring it. No turning back. Focus.
Keep it up.
That's like, I am totally dead.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
I hate it when that happens. And Cloud dies.
Yeah, I hate it when Cloud dies.
It's like, hey, Red 13, how about you drop me some more heals, you son of a bitch?
I don't have the AP. Leave me alone.
And it's
Really
like,
hard to build AP. Really hard to build AP when I can't fight.
No. You lose HP when you crash into the wall.
This should make you stronger. Keep up the pressure, okay? Finish him off. Don't give up now, you guys. Every little bit helps. Damn it. Watch yourself.
Still got some fight in you?
Shake it off, okay? Show me what you can do.
Thought you'd seen the last of it.
Calm down already.
I'm counting on you.
Keep it up. Keep it up. Let's pick up the pace. You can do it.
Time to beat your mate. That's better.
Let's see,
Is there a way to
is,
build up sword beam without getting close? Yeah, it refills on
it
itself.
it refills on its own. Problem is, it automatically is going to target the wheels anyway, and you need to get rid of the wheels in order to stagger it. So, you know, we're just kind of stuck.
Yeah, I'd rather just save for the spin slash. That way I can hit all three wheels at once.
There's no rest for the wicked.
Still in.
Guess what's coming to him?
No need to panic.
Still got some fight in you?
I'm waiting.
We're kinda in a hurry. You can do it. Go for it.
That is Red 13. Where's growling?
I told you. It's actually Dani told me.
You stay strong. Get ready.
Ain't done yet. Hang in there, okay?
This might be it.
Come on, Aerith. You got more health than Cloud does.
Take it off,
Hey, fight's not over yet.
Man, calm down already. Keep it up.
This is the road that never.
Really?
Shake it off, okay? Don't give up now, you guys. Show me what you can do.
That's all I need.
Come on.
Come on.
I've got you, brother.
Meet them head on.
Let's pick up the pace.
There's no rest for the wicked.
Just go away.
Hey, fight's not over yet. No, go.
That's the way to do it.
No, you don't.
Come on. I'm waiting. No turning back.
Keep it up.
Still got some fight in you?
Stay strong.
Hang in there, okay?
I'm trying.
Man, calm down already.
I'm trying to.
Hang in there, okay?
Bring it.
Hey, fight's not over yet.
It's on you.
Fucking finally. God damn.
Okay, y'all, let's finish him off. Come on.
Go for the head. With pleasure.
So wait, if the bridge ended there anyway, couldn't they have just outlasted it and eventually it would just fallen off?
Well, them along with it.
They made the jump.
but that wouldn't be nearly as fun.
All right. So, pretty much from here on out, like, so that was pretty much the last of the familiar content. So now, from here on out, for, like, this, like, last bit of this chapter, all new shit.
You could effectively use the rest of your money in this point, can't you?
I could. Yeah, so, that being said, this next section here, this honestly is this is kind of one of my issues for how the end of this chapter is because, and I know this is gonna sound really freaking weird, but, okay, how can I explain this? It doesn't feel like Final Fantasy VII. It feels like Kingdom Hearts. We're about to go no more. It's about to go no more up in here, and yeah, like Nomura kind of has a reputation that when his ambition is unchecked, it leads to the most batshit insanity. And yeah, that kind of applies here. You know, I know BJ doesn't really care because I know you're a major Kingdom Hearts fan. You know,
I am too.
Meanwhile, it's like, I'm on the camp that where it's like, don't get me wrong, like, early Kingdom Hearts, love it. But where Kingdom Hearts has really stumbled is that they've been going on and on, making all these new games, and things have been retconned so many times to try to make sense of the current shit that's happening in the game, that that's why it has that reputation of being so difficult to try and even follow. And, like, I know BJ doesn't give a shit about that, but, you know, I'm one of those people, I'm like, well, wait a minute, you know, if that's going to be the case, then the way I'm seeing it anyway is like, why should I invest my time and care about what's going to happen with story and characters when, like, another game or two down the road, it's going to change into something completely different?
I don't really get that from this ending. Like, I see your logic, but I don't entirely...
I'm talking Kingdom Hearts, not this.
Well, no. Okay. Okay, yeah, Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, I got you there.
Yeah. I'm talking. Yeah,
no, Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, I do. I agree with that. Yeah.
That's talking Kingdom Hearts on that one. That's not anything with this game at all. But that being said, like, I don't know, BJ, like, you'll probably disagree with me or something, but it's like, it really kind of does feel like, the direction, like, because I swear, when I first played this, and I got to this last bit with the chapters and shit, and I'm like, this does not feel like Final Fantasy VII. This feels like I'm playing bootleg freaking Kingdom Hearts.
I don't know. I really didn't get that myself. Like,
I got that, like, as far as, like, theming, just how the area even looks and shit, and that's where I'm just like, okay, this is not what...
Aesthetically, I can see where you're coming from, but
yeah.
Story-wise, I don't know so much about that. Aesthetically, I get you, but in terms of where the story's possibly going, I don't see it myself. Because if you want to get super technical, what's happening here technically is a retcon. However, it's a story-written retcon, not just one that they made up on the fly.
Hi.
Okay, asshole, let's...
Don't. And you're wrong.
Those who look with clouded eyes see nothing but shadows.
Everything about you is wrong.
All born are bound to her. Should this world be unmade, so too shall her children.
The world won't end today. But you will.
Listen. Destiny comes.
Hey, Zach.
We drag our asses all this way. And this is the welcome we get.
I hate this voice for Zach. I really do. Like, Zach's original voice in Crisis 4 was so fitting for him, and now it's just like, he sounds like, I don't know, to me he sounds like a cocky jackass, and that's not who Zach was at all. So I'm just like, I know they had to, I know they had to replace the cast for everybody. I just don't care for this direction for Zach at all.
Embrace your dreams. And whatever happens, protect your honor. As a soldier! Come and get it!
This is the point of no return.
I thought the point of no return was going to floor 69. Are you telling me there are two different points of no return?
Destiny's crossroads.
And why did you stop me?
I'm not really sure. What will we find on the other side? Freedom. Boundless, terrifying freedom. Like a great, never-ending sky. What you heard just now were the voices of the planet. Those born into this world, who lived and who died, who returned, are howling in pain.
Because of him, Sephiroth?
Their words, they don't reach him. All these moments and memories, precious and fleeting, they're like rain rolling off his back. And when they're gone, he won't cry or shout or anything. He'd tell you that he only cares about the planet, that he'd do everything in his power to protect and preserve it. But this isn't the way it's supposed to be. There's no greater threat to the planet than him. Sephiroth has to be stopped. He has to be. And that's why I'm asking you to help me. I know that together we can do this. But if we do, we'll be changing more than fate itself. If we succeed, if we win, we'll be changing ourselves. I guess maybe that's why I hesitated.
You said it yourself. He has to be stopped. And frankly, I've heard enough howling for a lifetime.
Alright, so when we cross the barrier of the Whisper, strange and terrible things may be waiting on the other side. Before making the leap, make sure your party is well rested and well stocked with the equipment and materia, which I had already done. So yeah, it's just pretty much.
Thank you, Cloud.
Yeah, let's just talk to everybody one last time before we cross over.
We should go.
So if we go through that thing, there's no coming back.
Is it our destiny to defy destiny? It's an interesting question.
Ready?
Like, yeah, let's finish this.
Ready? Not yet.
It's like, yeah, let's get through this. Like, Fire Emblem awaits us. We have to get through this.
Won't be easy.
Let's go.
I mean, it's not like you can go back anyways. You got miles and miles of street to go back to if you even want to go back to Midgar. So we kind of passed the point of no return a long time ago.
Wouldn't be the first time I spit in Destiny's eye. Whether you can see the scenes or you can't, doesn't change that she's always trying to have it her way. Daddy's coming home real soon, honey.
Oh, we're just...
Don't know about you, but looks normal to me.
Over there.
the Eternatus fight.
Okay, that ain't right.
No, the soul of the fiends.
Soul of the pavement.
Alright, here we go. So, I am aware that, there is a... I think there's a count, there's some kind of a tally system or something at this point. Because the whole gimmick behind this is that we're going to be going through and we're basically trying to make our way to fighting, well, let's just call it for what it is. We're fighting a fucking Heartless. It's more...
I think of it as a weapon. I think of it as a weapon.
I don't. But, you know, but...
Like a weapon made of whispers.
Yeah.
That's what it is. The whispers are no different than the weapons. So this is a weapon.
We can beat them.
I find that very hard to believe. Because again, continuity and shit with the weapon. But you know, again, as I said, you know, yeah, now we're everything's going tits up basically. But the whole gimmick behind this whole area for the remainder of this chapter is we're going to be going through fights, and there is a tally system that I think, depending on how you do, actually determines who you get as your final party in the last fight.
I mean, you call them.
Oh, really? I thought that was dependent on the relationship value of everyone over the course of the game.
It could be that. I heard that there is some kind of a counter or something. Either way, you know, they're throwing in a random element. So that being said, Whisper Harbinger, that's what we got to get into. But we got to take care of these guys first. So
wait, go back to the description of that. What that said?
To what?
Of the Harbinger.
Yeah, they appear when someone tries to alter the course. They're connected to threads of time and space to shape the planet's fate. That's not a goddamn weapon! That is not the continuity of the fucking weapons!
I'm good. You know what,
Something completely different.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by the continuity of the weapons?
Weapons,
Clarify that one for me.
weapons are literal monsters. They are not made through frickin' time and space to determine fate. The weapons were created if an external force like, say, a giant fucking meteor, or Genova, or Geostigma, or, Weiss's whole shtick in frickin' Dirge of Cerberus, when it provides, like, when there's a physical threat to the planet, that's the purpose of the weapons.
Okay, and what's currently happening here? We have a metaphysical threat to the planet.
I'm sorry, I don't think this is weapons. I think this is something completely different.
I still don't see how, because they already clarified the Whispers are something made by the planet. That one's been confirmed. They're made by the planet just as the weapons were. But whereas the weapons take care of physical threats, Whispers take care of time and space related threats.
Honestly, I'm just gonna call it as I see it. Dude, just one-eyed, one-heart, fine for multiple years.
That also said, I look at this arena as a whole. I can see where you get the Kingdom Hearts theming from, but in general, I also get Final Fantasy final boss themes from this, because if you think about generally the settings that take place in like the final arenas of the majority of Final Fantasy boss fights, they're always like these crazy places. Like hell, in the original Final Fantasy VII, when you face Sephiroth, like you're in like this random like sky-looking space place. How do you think that's gonna look in HD? It's just this crazy, like almost like sense-defying arena.
Just go. Run, damn it, run! Move your ass!
So those ghosts give more dark souls eyes than anything else. I've seen people actually, Dani, if you look at the descriptions for these ghosts again.
Yeah, future timeline manifested in the present day. So, unfortunately, all signs point this is fucking Advent Children, and I fucking hate Advent Children.
Oof.
Trust me, I hate that fucking movie. Because they're saying it's an entity from a future timeline. Crokeo uses guns. Rubrum uses a sword. Veridi uses gloves. Kadaj, Yaz, and Yazoo and Luz. Again, I kind of have to question, at what point are you dragging them into this? Because their stories were done in Final Fantasy VII. They died, and they got absorbed into the planet and shit. So, I mean,
yes.
But it's like so at what point does, again, I find this whole time space thing is kind of confusing as hell.
I see it as one of two things. Either it's just like a conduit reference. Oh, okay. Wrong combining words there. They either could just be conduit, like where, like it's just using their forms, but not necessarily them specifically. Like either that, or it could just be a reference. That's it. Like they needed mini bosses for this part, so they figured they'd go with this. Either that, or yeah, again, because we've already established the possibility that Sephiroth was able to travel to the past using the light ray. So who's to say, especially since these things aren't really working for Sephiroth, they're working for the Harbinger. This tells me that this Harbinger is pulling powerful souls from the live stream, regardless of what time period they come from, and using them as effectively soldiers to try to stop Cloud and his friends. That's the way I see it.
It's like
it's no different than necromancy. He's using zombies.
It's like, Roderick, I'm well aware this is multiverse. That's what this game has become. I was gonna save this until the end credits. I might as well say it here. I see where they're going with it. That being said, if I can be perfectly frank, and I want to be hopeful that despite all this bullshit, they can pull this off and make the remake as a whole, really engaging and freaking amazing. I want to be hopeful. But deep down in my gut is really kind of telling me they're not going to be able to pull this off. And I say this because I have seen Square time and time again in previous Final Fantasies. Look what happened with Kingdom Hearts and a bunch of their other games. Really, I think for like the past decade, they have some interesting ideas, make no mistake, but their execution of those ideas leaves much to be desired. And, and this is where I think this is where it angers me, but also scares me that, it's like, yeah, I don't know if they're gonna pull this off, and the fact that they're dragging Final Fantasy VII into this is really worrying me.
And you know what, Dani? There's no reason, you not there's nothing wrong with you feeling that way. The way I see it, you and I are actually, I would say, are both on the opposite spectrums of where this is so divided. Because it's like, again, because we keep repeating this, it's getting repetitive, but we don't know where this is going and whether or not it's going to be good or bad. You're on the spectrum where you've pretty much submitted to the idea that this is not going to work out, but if it does end up being, and you hope it's good, but you don't have your hopes up.
Right.
I'm on the other side where I really like this. I like the direction it's taking, and based on everything, and based on how great the game was in general, I have high hopes. I also have high hopes for the game, and if it ends up being bad, then that's just gonna be hugely devastating.
And that's where it's like, and again, that's where it's like, and I know everyone's like, Square's subverting our expectations and shit because, with the fact that, it's not really a true remake a true, honest to goodness remake. But that being said, all the great shit in this game was all the stuff that was remade. But you also have to remember, Final Fantasy VII, there's a lot to Final Fantasy VII now than just the original game. You have multiple novels, multiple games, you have a fucking movie. There's a lot of material now, to incorporate. And that's what they were doing in this game. And honestly, I think that would have been more than enough, where it's like, you could still do, yes, it's an HD, it's the HD remake of the game that people had wanted, but there's plenty of expanded material, plenty of new material, because there's so much shit now involved in the Final Fantasy VII compilation. So that's where I kind of have to argue, why is that not enough?
I personally don't see it as a means of it not being enough. They probably just wanted to go. Actually, you know what? This scene right here is about to actually.
What the hell did I just see?
You saw the end of the game? Which supposedly they're saying now is the bad ending. When I'm like, fucking what?
Yeah, a glimpse of what if we fail here. So what they're doing is they're not directly fighting Sephiroth. They're fighting the Whispers. And remember, the Whisper's job from the planet is to try to keep Fate and time on track. So by the fact that Cloud and his friends are actively trying to fight these things, they're trying to deny Fate as a whole.
Well, the big one is way over there. However, these guys...
Yeah, and it's like, and again, this is where I have my doubts on if they can pull this off, because they tried this with Final Fantasy 13. That was the theme of 13, was defying fate. And, oh, wait until I get to streaming Final Fantasy 13. It's a fucking mess. Like, I mean, there's a reason why it has such a god-awful reputation, especially when it comes to its story. Like, again, you know, it's like, yes, I see where they're going with it, and they have interesting ideas, but execution is where I have to call into question. And it's like, you know, yeah, when you say, you know, oh, they're trying to defy fate, I am getting very massive Final Fantasy 13 flashbacks, and that's a fucking nightmare.
One thing's for sure, though, based on whether or not they end up pulling it off, and whether or not it ends up being good. The direction that it's clear that they're taking here is that because of the actions that Cloud and his friends are trying to do right now, they're trying that we can guarantee, we can ascertain that there's going to be a lot of difference in the next game. They're trying, because they are, by the fact that they implied that if they let the Whispers have their way, and that the events of the original game will be what comes to pass if they don't win here. That does very much imply that we could expect a different ending for these characters, assuming things go the way that we're expecting, that we're theory crafting them to do. Also, hi Ryan.
Oh, okay. Heyo.
Hey.
How you two doing?
Fine. Just trying to finish this up.
Right. Oh yeah, that was, man, that seemed like totally not a pain in the butt boss fight, like during that little, chasing sequence on the long Midgar road.
Yeah, that was annoying.
Certainly looked like it. I am so sorry.
Actually, you know, since you brought that boss back up, Ryan, I will at least make another point here. Another reason why I can really, I guess this is kind of going past the actual story and more so gameplay reasons as to why we're in this giant fight all of a sudden. This is a much more appropriate final boss for a video game, as opposed to that mech on its own. Could you imagine how disappointing and how anticlimactic it would have been if that mech was just the final boss?
Yeah, I can see that actually.
So gameplay reasons, like there's obviously one reason for that. But yeah, story-wise in general, overall, it really does just boil down to we just have to wait and see.
Right.
Because we're not given enough information, but as I said, we are purposefully not given enough information because it leaves we're effectively on a cliffhanger. We have to wait, because I have high hopes. More than likely, that the next game will probably go much deeper into explaining what's going on.
But yes, hello again, everybody in the chat. How are you guys enjoying yourselves so far?
Now's our chance.
Well, actually, Dark Meta Knight, you say that, and that's a really interesting point that a lot of people have brought up. Because a lot of people are saying, if they defy fate, does that mean Aerith could live? Now, here is the most interesting thing about that. I actually have a really big feeling that Sephiroth also probably wants Aerith to live. Because remember, in the original game, how did Sephiroth lose? He was beaten down by Cloud, but Meteor was ultimately stopped because of Aerith's connection to the live stream. Aerith's spirit is what saved Midgar and the planet. So I could very well see a big reason why Sephiroth is meddling here, and this will be a big point as well. First,
This can't be our future. The future is always a blank page.
Them again! Least they could do is give us a little breather.
hey, you know what, Danny? At the very least, Barrett feels the same way about having children as you do.
Yeah. It's like, fucking go away!
Bring it on, bitch.
Oh. Oh man, never thought I'd hear that come out of Cloud, and I love it. It's like, bring it on, bitch.
You know what, actually, like, going a bit off topic, this is what I find hilarious. There were a bunch of people that were so annoyed by the Whispers in general, and it's clear that throughout the entire game, Cloud and his friends were also really annoyed by the Whispers. They did not much care for what the Whispers have been doing to them throughout the entire game. But the reality of it is, the Whispers are trying to stop fate from changing. They're trying to keep things on track as the same track as the original game. So, the fact that they made... I have a feeling making the Whispers annoying was probably a purposeful tact to get people to side with Cloud on stopping them. Therefore, if the Whispers are stopped, they can then be changed. So that was probably a very intentional, also Bahamut. Neat.
Let's do this.
Right. We can do this together.
Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so I have a feeling a part of Sephiroth's motive right now is probably to stop himself from killing Aerith. Because if he does that, he wins. And that's what's kind of freaking a lot of people out right now who have realized this. Because unfortunately, in order for Sephiroth to lose, unless they can find a different way, Aerith has to die. Because that was the only way that she was able to unlock Holy. That was the only way to stop Meteor. So, I can see there... So, of course, Aerith's death in the original was, heart-wrenching for anyone there. But what I can see making it even more heart-wrenching, because if the theory is correct that Sephiroth is going to try to prevent Aerith's death, I can see these characters being put into a really, really upsetting situation where Aerith knows that she has to die and either kills herself or asks Cloud to kill her.
And that's gonna be, and that, I'm telling you, is gonna be real. That is gonna be such a huge thing to ask people to accept, because this isn't just it's a character death. We are talking about the most important and iconic video game character death. So even changing the impact and the meaning behind it, that's a tall fucking order to ask for people.
It's a tall order, but again, if they can get it I believe they can. You don't. Regardless of what we believe, if they can pull it off, it'll be really impactful. Though that said, actually, something else we should probably go ahead and bring up now, since the game doesn't really go much else with it at this point. So, something that we really haven't been talking about at all, we already I pretty much accepted the idea that Sephiroth came back in time through the live stream somehow in order to reset the past. Now this is never stated, but it is heavily implied that he was not the only one to use the live stream to come back in time. It is also heavily implied that Aerith did the same thing. That Aerith used the live stream to reconnect with herself in the past to try to, as a means of trying to stop Sephiroth. And when you look at it with that perspective, a lot of Aerith's actions, which were different from the original game that she's done in this game, make a tad bit more sense. Okay, let me try to remember from the again. I know a big one was like while they were in her childhood room. He made a comment about how whenever the Whispers touch her, he says she feels like she's losing a part of herself. I think the game might be implying that when she says that the Whispers are trying to pull future Aerith away from past Aerith. I'm not quite sure how they're handling that one in particular. It could be a shared memory thing where future Aerith is simply sharing her memories with past Aerith. But I think a lot of this makes a little more sense if we were to have seen the scene at Aerith's house as opposed to the Tifa scene.
Nothing personal.
Because in that scene, Aerith appears as like a spirit in the from the live stream. Like there's an aurora of live stream in the sky, and Aerith is there as some kind of spirit to talk to Cloud. A lot of her language doesn't quite mesh with the current Aerith, and like she says things like, "Whatever you do, you can't fall in love with me," or like she for the most part, she makes a lot of statements that definitely implies that she knows a lot more than she's leading on to. Also, we get to see Red 13 use his limit break.
Did we beat him? Think so.
Unless Sephiroth doesn't get meteor. I got a feeling no matter what happens, Sephiroth is going to get meteor. But like, again, all we can do is theory craft. Because if the implications about Aerith having, like, knowledge from her future self is true, then that makes her motive here to want to stop the Whispers specifically so much more interesting. Because to me, that implies the idea that she probably wants to find a way to stop Sephiroth that doesn't stick them on the original path, but at the same time could make things better for everyone in general. But it's just so hard to really think. Again, simply because we just don't have enough information. But theory crafting is always fun. Damn! He hype beamed you first before you can hype beam him.
Yikes.
My beam's bigger.
The ultimate laser battle.
Oh, could you imagine? Like they do, like a Dragon Ball Z beam clash.
Yeah, really.
Where are we? I'm waiting, Cloud.
What the hell is this?
This is... Sephiroth. Let's finish this. Fate is not to be taken lightly.
Okay, regardless of what you think of the story, you have to admit this entire boss fight is cool.
Yeah, I mean, just for the introduction alone, it's like, I'm already getting a real kick out of it.
Steady.
I see a lot of people also arguing the a notion that they blew their load way too early by having you fight Sephiroth right now. I disagree, if only because even in the original game, you never fought Sephiroth once until the end. So I will say, this is the only time they can do this. But I'm fine with the fact that they're doing it here, especially considering the fact that we never actually did get to fight Sephiroth in this form. We only ever fought him as like the Angel. I don't know, like Dani, what are your thoughts on that?
I think, honestly, you know, I could probably look at it maybe a little different here, because honestly, first time I was playing this, I was just so annoyed that, like, by the time I got to this fight, I was just like, whatever. Yeah, so I was just kind of more like, take it or leave it.
Yeah, but I guess now that you have a chance to actually have to move it over, like, what are your thoughts on on this fight specifically now?
Let's finish this.
Well, hang on.
The planet will claim you.
And again, I think part of the reason why I'm kind of a take it or leave it, because, you know, between jumping on debris in the air and shit, it's fucking Advent Children. This was the Cloud and Sephiroth fighting Advent Children, only now you get to play it, and I'm kind of like, again, I'm like, what the fuck ever, you know? So that's at least the way I was approaching it, because I've said before, I do not like Advent Children, so why do I want to play something that's remotely like it?
I'm with you. Sloppy.
You like the Men in Black, like,
Brace yourself.
flash things here, like, totally delete Advent Children from your memory.
Oh my god.
Steady.
Technically, we did fight him in this one, BJ. The shirtless one that we one-shotted. Well, I don't count that as a fight. Like,
Well, that wasn't even really like a fight per se. That was just so much. That was Cloud like finally liberating himself from, you know, Sephiroth's influence.
yeah, that was a metaphor.
Yeah, which Advent Children kind of fucked up it anyway. So it's like, again, another reason why I hate that fucking movie. It was such disrespect.
Well, again, you know what? Here's my biggest argument. Like this entire notion about how they're changing fate and possibly the story overall. Dani, if they go through with it, that means Advent Children won't exist anymore.
Did you miss me?
Okay. All right. So here's our first party member.
Yeah, so what? Screw him.
It's like, man, what a doubt to something. It's like, it's the Final Fantasy VII Remake, but ultimately the main goal with this entire, like, episodic game or whatever is just to completely retcon Advent Children.
To delete Advent Children from existence.
It's like, as funny and amazing as that would be, I also have to remind you, this is the same company that makes every Kingdom Hearts related thing fucking canon. Even if it retcons shit, it's still, they have to count it as fucking canon, so I wouldn't put it, so it's like, yo, could they get rid of Advent Children? It'd be great, not betting on it.
Kingdom Hearts is problem, honestly, I find.
This one's for you.
I wouldn't call it a retconning. I'd more call it. They're definitely making it up as they go along.
Yeah.
And it's so hard for me to consider it a retcon, considering how they're writing a bunch of the things. Because a lot of what they're writing is the fact that they write off inconsistencies as a character line. And yeah, that is still a pretty lazy way to do things. Like I'm not saying it's I'm not like defending it per se. I just don't totally see it as a retcon, but it's still like not the greatest.
Right.
Well, you got him to 89%.
Oh, I got Tifa this time. Okay. Yeah, see, again, I think this has to be a counter or something, because, I mean, because, to be honest, much of the same decisions that I made here was what I made, like, in my first, like, original playthrough, and I got Cloud, Aerith, and Barret.
That's it. I'm curious. That move that he just used on Cloud and Aerith to, like, pin them to the ground, I wonder if that was the inspiration behind his down throw for a smash.
It's on you.
Let me handle this. You're up. So it's my turn?
One more shot.
We've got to get through this. I've got you covered.
Taking over.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I just had a thought.
What?
Do your thing.
So this is just assuming that they do what I think they're gonna do with the second part and where it ends right after Meteor is called. I'm trying to think. What was the last major boss right before that scene? Like where Cloud gives the black materia to Sephiroth.
The last major boss?
It was a Genova fight, right? Or
are we talking about when Cloud gave the black materia when they were in the Northern Crater?
yes. Like what was like the last major boss right before that?
Yeah, I think it was Genova Death.
Okay. And that took place at the crater, right?
It took place at the Creator, yeah.
Okay. So hear me out on this, because it could add to the whole thing, just like the shit just getting way more upsetting. From like not upsetting from a storytelling standpoint. I mean upsetting as in I want to cry my eyes out. But like what if my idea about the fact that Sephiroth doesn't want Aerith dead, therefore Cloud needs to do something about that arc? Well, actually, even ignoring that, what if the final boss of this thing of part 2 is Cloud himself? Like it's them trying to stop Cloud from getting black materia and ultimately fail.
I'm waiting.
Because that I think could make for a really suspenseful final boss.
Ready?
It's your turn.
I got it. Enjoy. Careful. Try this. Going in.
One more shot.
Here we go.
This one's for you.
Keep it together.
Okay, let's go. Hang in there. That's it.
Sephiroth slashing at Tifa. Memories, right, Tifa?
Watch yourself. I'll take care of him. One more shot.
Lend me your strength.
Taking over.
Let me handle this. Bless them with your love and grace.
Thanks for that.
Good luck. Here goes.
No more games.
Deal with that.
Let's go.
Be careful.
I'm wide awake now.
Be right back real quick. I need some food.
No problem.
I'll take care of them. Too easy. This one's for you. I've got this covered.
This should make you stronger.
Darkness falls.
It's like, can Sephiroth use Heartless Angel in this fight? He just did! Like, he used it on Cloud, and that's why his health dropped down to 1.
I'm here. That was something.
I'm waiting. Let me hear you wail.
Stop it! Welcome back. We can do this. We can. We can change it. Make it right.
careful now. That which lies ahead does not yet exist. Our world will become a part of it one day, but
Oh, cool. I'm back running time for this part.
nor will I have you end.
This is...
The edge of creation. Cloud, lend me your strength. Let us defy destiny together.
Never.
Not yet. Seven seconds till the end. Time enough for you, perhaps. But what will you do with it? Let's see.
Mr. Vice President.
What'd you call me, bitch?
Mr. President.
That's better.
That's right.
Okay, first order of business. Palmer, you're fired.
What?
I wish. I fucking wish.
All right, my new security will escort you out. All right, security. The truck just runs him over.
Runs him over. Funny you should say that.
My leg! Oh, Hojo's just having the time of his life.
So that being said, this was the last kick in the dick for a lot of fans.
Oh, the puppy.
Or you know, or you know,
Zack living.
Wait. Was that all of them?
Oh.
Yeah, kick in the dick for some people, but lots of happy squeeing for many others. Sophia was overjoyed when she saw this. Like, Sophia loves Zack.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Zack too. But now it's just like, wait, what?
That said, this more than likely is some kind of alternate universe thing, because it also showed the scamp wrapper that had a different breed of dog.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain they're implying alternate universe.
Right. Yeah, but that being said, Zack's not the only one that survives.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Took me a second.
So it's like, you would think, like, yeah, it's like, yeah, you would think Zack surviving would have some really, really, like, big consequences, you know, especially in regards to Cloud and his character development, but, you know, I guess that, yeah, who knows?
Well, I think what this is probably more so... Here's how I look at it. It's probably going back to the idea of how the effects of the live stream with how it handles time and space in general, because they effectively destroyed the Whispers, that affected a lot of different eras. Because technically, Zack was dead long before Cloud even reached Midgar. So it's like, that's what I think it might be implying, that the effect of destroying the Whispers is causing a much bigger adverse effect than they probably thought it would. Because then there's also this.
Yeah.
Biggs is alive! Yay! I like
Hey.
Yeah, and then if you saw on the desk, like next to him, you saw a pair of gloves and a red headband. Heavily implies Jesse survives too. So, and again, I think this is just a big thing that kind of bothers me in storytelling in general. Is that it's like, you know, it's like you went through all this trouble, you know, to really like expand on Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse. We've really got to know them and love them, and it really hurt when they died. Like, they did such a good job with that impact. But now they're in a world where it's like, oh, hey, they're alive.
Well,
so to me, I still
don't know about that, because Biggs also wore gloves and a red headband, too, so...
Yeah, I know. But nevertheless, it's just the fact that between Zack and Biggs being alive now, that's where it's like, again, this kind of goes back to, you know, a pet peeve of mine with storytelling is like, the minute you retcon shit like that, it's like, again, why should I have investment in things like this when it's like, oh, we're just gonna we'll find a way to alter it because fucking fan service. Yeah, I don't know, that kind of annoys me. Where it's like, for Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse, again, it's like, you know, yeah, like I said, you built up everything and really gave you gave their fall, you know, real weight and significance. And now that's like, oh, we're in a world now, we're in an alternate universe where, oh, they're alive, and it's just like, well, so then what was the point?
Because they had died in the original. I'd say on that front. Though, in regards to Zack, again, we just don't have enough information. Because I don't think Zack is alive in this universe specifically that they're in. Because if they were, Cloud would not be holding the Buster Squid right now. Because look what's going on right here.
Almost there, Cloud. We're almost there.
I miss it. the steel sky.
So yeah, I don't think Zack is actually alive. I think they just showed an alternate, like a separate alternate universe where he did live. That's what I think they did.
Yep, so that's the Final Fantasy VII Remake. You know, it's like, I get all my bitching about the ending aside, you know, I still really enjoyed this game. You know, again, up until the last chapter, and that's when it lost me. And, you know, I felt that way when I first played it. I still feel that way now. And again, like, we don't know where they're going with it. It's very possible. It's very, very possible that they can pull this off. And it's like, again, I really want to be proven wrong, but I'm very hopeful, but again, deep down my gut, with all these ideas and what they're presenting, I have my doubts about whether Square can pull through in the clutch. I really have my doubts on if they can pull this off or not. You know, because again, it's like when you look at games like 13, 15, you know, even Kingdom Hearts games to a certain extent, it's like they have ideas. They have good ideas. You know, ideas that barely get touched in games. And it's like, you know, okay, you can give them credit for that, but just because you may have an interesting idea or an interesting approach or a setup, it doesn't really mean anything if you can't execute on it. You know, so that's and again, it's so weird because when I see other companies and other games that do similar ideas, I surprisingly don't take much issue to this. Like, I look at Dragon Quest, or better yet, Xenoblade Chronicles. Xenoblade Chronicles, at least the first one, because I haven't played the second one. But the first Xenoblade Chronicles, the whole gimmick behind that, again, was defying fate. You know, Shulk was seeing images of the future, and he's trying to alter it, so he's trying to alter the past and shit, so that future doesn't happen. Xenoblade Chronicles, I thought, pulled it off really well. I mean, for one thing, they explained that shit from the beginning, and the whole game was centered around that idea. And, like, everything from the story to the combat, it all focused around it. So it really felt like, there was a lot of focus to it. So, I mean, I've seen games where they do shit like this, where it's like you deal with time travel or alternate universes that you're undoing things and saving people. And it's so weird because I've seen other games do this and I'd be like, okay, this is cool, I like it. But whenever I see Square Enix do it, I don't know why. I don't know. I don't like it.
I suppose that one really is just, that one just boils back to perspective. Because it's like, because again, you as a longtime Square Enix fan, mm-hmm. and a much more dedicated Square Enix fan compared to the rest of us anyway, I can understand your criticism, of course. As well as your just general, what's the word, lack of faith, I guess. If that's a good way to put it. Like my hesitations about all of it. Yeah, there we go. That better word. There we go. I guess for people in my camp, I do have high expectations, and I do think they're gonna be able to do it really well. And the biggest reasons why I think that are less because of the games that came out around it, and more so because of what I saw in this game specifically. This was a phenomenal game. I had nothing but fun from start to end with it. They did a fantastic job. And that's why I have such high hopes for the next one. Now again, I could just be setting myself up for a fall here. Because they set the bar up so high, so if they end up not pulling it off, it's going to be a long drop.
Right, and again, that's what I'm afraid of, because I've seen this happen with Square multiple times, and it's more so for the past decade. So I'm not talking about old school Square when it was like Square Soft, but it's like I've seen this happen several times, so I'm like, again, that's where I have my reservations about it. And it's like I said, if this was a whole brand new title or everything, I think I'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever, typical Square. But the fact that this is Final Fantasy VII, and it's a game that I hold very near and dear to me, both angers me and terrifies me.
Well, overall, we're just gonna have to wait and see. We can theory craft all we want. It's fun to do so, but
yeah, you got about you got 5 years. I guarantee you, because again, a habit with Square Enix games, they'll throw out, oh hey, we have a teaser trailer for something coming out, and then you don't hear shit about it. It's radio silent for several years before we get like any indication that, oh hey, we even have like a new trailer drop and now it's on the horizon. Like, I mean, they did that with this game, they did that with Kingdom Hearts. Like, they just recently dropped like the teaser trailer for like what's going to be Final Fantasy XVI. And even then I'm kind of whatever on it when I first saw that trailer, but you know, it's like, you know what, like, it's not like we're gonna see that game anytime soon. I give it a couple more years before you hear anything about Final Fantasy XVI. I mean, that is just how they operate. So, you know, yeah, as far as part 2 for the Final Fantasy VII Remake, it's gonna be years before it sees the light of day.
Well, at the very least for this game, again, me just being optimistic, like, I feel like I mean, obviously, it is going to be a few years for certain. That's just how long it takes to make these games. But I feel like for this game in particular, there's no reason to assume it will take too long, because for one, assets are already made, so they just have to make any remaining assets that they'll need for the next one, and then two, this game did so well. You can it would be downright foolish to ignore the general demand that this game has set up, especially considering how much of a cliffhanger that it ended on, for them to make people wait way too long.
I suppose. Because, I mean, it's like, you know, because as far as, like, assets that they can be reusing for, like, the next episode, I mean, character models, of course. I mean, it's like, they don't have to worry about, like, you know, oh, hey, we gotta, like, you know, we gotta remake Cloud, because you've already done it. So, at this point, it's, like, any new characters that are gonna be showing up. So, we're talking, you know, Yuffie, Vincent, and Sid, and, well, technically, we got the cat part for Kate Sith.
Yeah, we need the Moogle.
Yeah. So you got half of the character there.
And it's like all the villains are already there, so it's like, because remind me, were there any other like brand new villains introduced after Midgar?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, Elena from the Turks has to come in.
So yeah, just her.
Yeah, I believe, like, off the top of my head, yeah, I think Elena is really the only new, like, Shinra person that's got to come in.
Yeah, aside from her, like, as well as the rest of the party, and then a lot of the notable side characters. Like, of course, there's like off the top of my head, we got like, you know, the cast. Well, really, it's just every major character that shows up in each town. So, like, there's really no major characters in, like, Corral, but, like... Well, not Corral, what was the first city after Midgar?
Calm,
thank you. I imagine they'll do so for the Chocobo Farm. Obviously, there's Bugenhagen. There's Dio.
Yeah, well, I mean, because I mean, I would suspect there's going to be certain locations we're absolutely going to have to come back to, like, you know, like you have to go to Cosmo Canyon, not just for the Red 13 stuff, but you know, you got a lot of information regarding the live stream and how the planet operates when you were at Cosmo Canyon.
Yeah,
you know, so it's like Gold Saucer, another given, you know, because not only does that bring in Kate Sith, but that also ties in with Barrett's backstory.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, you know, Nibelheim. Of course you gotta go back to Nibelheim. Like, if only, not just to get Vincent, but everything with Cloud and Tifa there as well.
Yeah.
Rocket Town's a given because we got to get Sid. Wutai would be a given, because not only with the Yuffie subquest and stuff, but just everything they've been setting up here with the war and such. So, I mean, Wutai's a given.
Yeah. So, actually, here's once, again, this is just me assuming that part 2 is everything leading up to Meteor. Northern Crater and aside, is there any area or general area that needs to be that is newly visited after the Meteor stuff? Aside from
after Meteor's been summoned?
Yeah, because aside from is there any brand new place they have to go to after that?
Mediel.
Remind me what Mediel was again?
Mediel was where you found Cloud when he was suffering from the Mako poisoning.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So that was where they found Cloud. Tifa stayed behind, to be with him, and then they continued with the huge materia stuff. So that's a new city.
So aside from Mediel and Northern Crater, pretty much every other location that they go to, after that, is just them revisiting places and maybe gaining access to new areas in those old places.
Yeah, well, that's where I suspect, Junon, for example. I expect Junon is going to get a massive upgrade, probably along the similar lines to what they've been doing with Midgar, just because Junon itself is a major Shinra military base.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a base and a city underneath it. So I do anticipate that it will get similar treatments to what they've been doing with Midgar.
So the way I see it, like looking at this from a game designing perspective, it's like they already have a good chunk of their assets ready for from this game for the next part. Once they get that next part down, done, they'll have pretty much everything they need for any other parts after that. That's kind of the way I see it. If anything, honestly, you know what? Thinking about it, actually, I can see the one thing. I can see two things holding them up the longest for the next part.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's building the world itself, building the entirety of the planet.
And that's all. And that's assuming that we're even getting a world map.
Yeah,
because it's possible. It's possible that they'll do with Final Fantasy X, where it's you just go from place to place, but you don't actually get to explore the worlds in between the cities and such. You don't get a world map to fart around in.
Right. Well, the other major thing though, the monsters. There is such a huge diversity of monsters in Final Fantasy VII.
Right.
So I can see a good amount of time being needed just to make all those new monster models. Because for the most part, you don't really refight any of the same monsters that you do in Midgar outside of Midgar, do you?
Well, I think, if anything, they're probably color palette swaps of stuff, but, that's to be expected. That's typical of, when they have to reuse assets and shit. It's oh, we fought, you may have fought, a dog. You may have fought, the guard dogs. Take, Rufus's dog, Darkstar. You fought a monster like that in Midgar, but it's oh, hey, here's another one, but it's colored red. Yeah. So it's I get it. It's typical, not just with Square, just RPGs in general. It's it's okay, we gotta make something. Yeah, we gotta get some monsters in there. It's we'll just make a tougher version of this thing that you fought before. So,
Yeah.
So who knows? They could possibly grab some stuff from this in future episodes.
Yeah. And then aside from that, I do also see them more than likely wanting to fine-tune the general gameplay and combat a bit. Because with this game, they were, for the most part, able to keep it simple because there were only 4 playable characters, and they were all pretty straightforward. After this, the next bunch of playable characters that we're gonna get aren't gonna be that straightforward. I mean, we got Yuffie, who generally utilizes throwing stars or
she's
I
good.
can see having a lot more aerial combat kind of deals.
I think Yuffie will probably be one of the simpler ones. And it's like even Sid, I would think to a certain extent. Like the biggest thing is like considering his class, his closest class is Dragoon. And Dragoons are, they're the spear wielders and a heavy emphasis on, attacking from above. So it's possible that they'll do that with Sid for his playstyle.
I see them wanting to emphasize aerial combat for Sid. Like, because that's my thing about this game specifically. Aerial combat in terms of the gameplay is probably one of its weakest aspects, but I can also see why they probably didn't put too much time into it because even then, only 2 characters that are playable really even need to worry about it. Cloud and Tifa. Because Barret and Aerith are grounded the entire time.
Yeah.
So, does Barret jump when using a melee weapon?
Probably. I don't know. I barely. I use them, but I use them just to get the abilities that they come with. And then as soon as I got them, I immediately went back to his Gatling guns. So I never stuck with his melees.
I could see them wanting to fine-tune aerial combat, if only because of Yuffie, Sid, and maybe to an extent Vincent, because Vincent can't fly. I believe Vincent can fly, right?
Well, everybody can do the Advent Children jumping 10 feet into the air. Everybody can technically do that now.
No, it's just Vincent actually floating. I could have sworn, like when you first meet him.
And he does some anti-gravity bullshit, but again, with Vincent's case was because he was experimented on, so he's got his transformations, which I imagine is going to be a completely different play style in and of itself. You'll have Vincent with his gunplay, sure, but then how do you incorporate the transformations? Is this going to be an instance where basically by playing as Vincent, you kind of have to learn 2 characters. Like when he transforms, different play style altogether.
Well, assuming they even let you keep control of the monster. Because wasn't the whole gimmick behind Vincent's limit breaks once he transforms, you lost control of him?
That was the gimmick, yes. But that could change.
You immediately switch off, and he just goes berserk, but you can't control what he does.
Possibly, but again, they're really hinting that there's a lot that's going to be changed, so who knows?
Yeah, so I can see a lot of things like that definitely taking up majority of the development time, but for the most part, they already have everything set up. So it's they got the majority of their major models done. They got their voice cast done. That I would like to imagine they got their story premise already thought out. Hopefully, so I know Nomura has a bad habit of making things up as he goes along, but he does have the other 2 original Final Fantasy VII writers alongside him. So at the very least, I'm sure they at least know what they're doing.
Okay, all right. So that being said, when you complete a playthrough, you unlock Chapter Select. So this is where you can go back and replay specific parts of the game. So, I want to see all the dresses that I can get through the Wall Market section. Well, okay, through Chapter Select, I can go back and do the necessary changes so that I can see all the dresses. If I wanted to try and work and see, I know we had that moment with Cloud and Tifa at Aerith's house. If I wanted to see, what's the scene like with Barret or Aerith, let me see what those qualifications are, and I will do the chapter selection from there. This also allows you to, finish up the battle intels, max out materia, max out levels, upgrading weapons, all that other stuff. So there's that more or less, I guess, is kind of your incentive to replay this. Is if you want to see all these other extra little things, and then I believe once you've opened up when you open up chapter select, you can also select your difficulty, and I think I believe when you've at least played through this once, this is what gets you into, you want to play the super hard mode, okay. And I haven't tried it yet because I hear, so correct me if I'm wrong on this one, BJ, the gimmick behind hard mode is not only is the difficulty ramped up, but there's even things like items, you can't use them.
Yes.
And you saw how much I spammed potions, ethers, and phoenix downs. I'd be fucked. Like, it really is something where it's like, yeah, you want to tackle this, then it's like, okay, master all the materia, master all of your weapons, master, like, get yourself a max level, like, do everything that you possibly can, you know, to get yourself ready before you even begin tackling hard mode. But yeah, I think suffice it to say, yeah, that is pretty much going to be it for the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I hope you guys enjoyed, and, you know, thank you for putting up with my petty bitching. You know, thank you for that. You know, I mean, oh, how I wanted to fucking rant about that last chapter. But, you know, it's like, and again, you know, as much as I am hesitant and didn't really care for the ending, you know, I do see that a couple of you guys in the chat, you do like where it's going. And ultimately, that's okay. I'm not going to be like, you know, well, you're a fucking idiot for liking this. No, I'm not going to do that. You know, I may have my issues with it, but I'm not going to be like, you know, you should not like this at all. You know, because I don't want to be that kind of a person. But ultimately, we just got to see where this goes. And I know I keep joking about this. It's like, well, part 2, we'll see you in 5 years. So anyway, yeah, that took about 3 hours. I think that's more than enough time to get started on another stream. So I'm going to be going back to the original poll. So before I started streaming, I had done a poll saying vote for 3 games. And the 3 games was the Final Fantasy VII Remake, which got the most votes, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, which got the second most votes, and then Nier Automata. So we're going to go into Fire Emblem 3 Houses next. Just give me some time to kind of like set up like the assets and shit on OBS. It shouldn't take too long. I mean, I've got them, I think, mostly imported. I just got to like, you know, kind of like tweak it up a little bit and get all that stuff. But I'd say maybe give me 15, 20 minutes, you know, tops. It shouldn't take me that long. So just sit tight, everybody. Go on ahead, get your snacks, get your drinks, go to the bathroom, do whatever it is that you kids do. And we will be back shortly to begin our first playthrough of Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Did you just imply that only kids go to the bathroom? Go to the bathroom, whatever you kids do, like...
Well, there is a thing as adult diapers.
Oof. Like, oh, you kids, and your number 1s, and your number 2s, and your number 3. Wait.
I'm sure the kids these days will come up with a number 3.
No, that's shaving.
Okay. Anywho, like I said, I'll see you guys shortly as I get everything set up.